Now, when you're talking homesteading and sustainability, really what everything boils down to is where's the food? Now, with certain trees like this calamadin, this is an almost ever-bearing tree, meaning these calamadins are going to be coming into ripeness constantly all throughout the year. And at basically any given month, there should be some of them ready to go on the tree. But most fruit trees aren't like that. Our peaches, our oranges, our loquats, they're only really ripe for about 1 month, and then the other 11 months of the year, they don't bear any fruit. So in terms of homesteading for self-reliance, security, having some food to eat year-round, well, we get eggs probably 10 months out of the year. There's 2 months out of the year where the chickens aren't really laying. That's because they're using all of their energy to build an extra set of feathers for warmth for the winter. But outside of that, November, December period, the chickens do tend to lay year-round. So each day you can rely on getting some eggs. But other than that, what do we have that is a guarantee year-round that I can say, hey, our homestead is producing this food every day. We have this fresh food to eat every day. And that's where the concept of a food forest comes into play. And I've really been looking at a lot of videos on YouTube about people here in Central Florida that have food forests, and it's really been fascinating me. And I think that I'm gonna go ahead and do something like that here on our homestead, probably putting my own twist on it, of course. Because the concept is basically, you have your fruit trees, and we have easily 2 dozen, if not close to 3 dozen here now. You have your fruit trees, and those are large, but underneath each large fruit tree is a smaller edible bush or shrub. And there's all these different varieties, some of which I've never heard of before. But these edible bushes or shrubs, you can basically just walk around your homestead year-round, pulling leaves off of them, and make a salad. It's the most interesting thing that I've honestly ever seen in a while when it comes to this kind of stuff. And the thing that's so cool is your fruit trees provide shade for your edible bushes and shrubs underneath, and they almost have like a synergistic relationship where the presence of that edible plant actually helps the fruit tree grow. So they're working together. Now, I'm new to this stuff, so I didn't know anything about this, but apparently the wrong thing to do is to just plant fruit trees, alone with nothing near them whatsoever. You're supposed to be companion planting things next to each fruit tree that's gonna go ahead and support its growth. And so this spring, we're gonna go ahead and take all that compost that we've been making for the past few months and start building sections where the ground isn't gonna be the sandy Florida soil. It's actually gonna be really, really, really rich organic matter that we can start companion planting with our fruit trees and really start to create a food forest of our own, where we're gonna have these leafy greens that you can go ahead and eat any day of the year. You can make yourself a nice, healthy salad. Now, if we're gonna be trying to make a food forest, adding things like cranberry hibiscus, Jamaican sorrel, and katuk, those are all edible plants and bushes, we're gonna need a lot of organic material, because that kind of stuff doesn't grow necessarily very well in just straight sand. And that's what we have here for soil in Florida, is a lot of sand. Now, a project like this of a pretty large scale is going to require a lot of organic material, and buying that kind of stuff from the store would easily be thousands, several thousands of dollars. Luckily, we've been working on a solution for the past couple months. Our massive compost pile here is comprised of roughly 50% unused straw from the cows and chickens and 50% cow manure. This is easily several truckloads full of compost. The problem is, it does need to be occasionally turned, and that's easier said than done when you have this much material. Try to get in there once or twice a month and really stir it up and break it down. Now we will be getting a tractor by the end of the month, and that should help me with this, because it's a lot of work right now doing it manually. But hopefully that's all broken down by the end of the winter here, and we have a lot of that nice, rich, organic material ready to go so that we can start building our food forest. There never seems to be a shortage of poop out here to scoop up, and Scarlett never ceases to amaze me with how interested she is in this stupid wagon. She does this all the time. She's confused by it, I think. But let's see if we can get her off the wagon and clean up some of this poop. They're starting to go into heat. I don't know if you caught that, but Scarlett almost tried to mount Elsie there. We're talking about getting a bull. We're talking about getting a bull on the property pretty soon here so that we can get the girls pregnant. They're almost ready for it, so only a month or so, maybe 2 from now, and that'll be a whole thing. So we actually went out and talked to someone today. It was a farmer who raises Nigerian dwarf goats, and I was really excited about sharing that footage with you. But once we got there and I asked the guy if we could record, he wasn't too keen on the idea, so I wasn't able to get any of the footage, which is really a bummer. But I talked to the guy, I picked his brain a little bit, and basically what he told me more than anything, will Nigerian dwarf goats do well cohabitating in the same pasture as cows? Absolutely. Realistically, what we need to do now is build them a shelter, and I'm planning on doing that very soon. Because like I said, I'm not interested in mowing that brush with the brush hog every month. I want those goats out there working on it, doing the job for me, making life a little bit easier for me. So I'm gonna work on getting them a shelter together probably within the next few weeks. And then we can talk about whether for sure we're gonna get Nigerian dwarfs or Nubians, but it won't be long until we have goats on the property, that's for sure. Guys, God bless you. Thank you so much for following this channel. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. And until next time, take care. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye, everyone.